You are here, one thing is sure, your mind is not here. You don't stay inside your boundary. Your bodies are not your homes, your lodges. You put the luggage and go around for sightseeing. They are not your homes. That is why you don't feel homely inside your body. Understand? Your bodies are not your homes. As on now, they are lodges. You put your luggage and they are there. You just go around. That is why sometimes guests come and, oh, nobody is there, empty. Why not let me also leave? Ghosts. People come and ask me, how people get possessed by ghosts. If you are not staying in your boundary, because it is empty, somebody will come for renting. Somebody else will feel, why not me have a little space? After all, nobody is living there. If you are living inside your boundary, no possibility for possessiveness, being possessed by anything, any spirits or ghosts or anything, or even the split personality. People ask me now, next $1 million question, is there ghost, Swamiji? Don't bother whether it is there or not. The problem which comes in the name of being possessed happens when you don't stay inside your boundary. If you just sit in the bathtub, this level water, neck level, and feel the boundary, and just sit inside your body, feel you are sitting inside your skin. The skin is your boundary. You are not going anywhere else. Just observe what is going on inside the body. Do you have any small pain anywhere? It's like just doing small, simple overhauling or taking accounts. All the bones are there in their place. Or you are able to feel all the parts of the body. Just once in a while, it's like accounts. You don't need to do it like a big meditation technique. Just 10-20 minutes. Sit with your body, with your boundary. See, you spend at least 1 hour every day maintaining your body, taking bath or giving food or decorating it, at least 1 hour. That 1 hour just be inside your boundary, you will become enlightened. You don't need to do anything else. People come and ask me, Swamiji, give some meditation technique for busy people. I am too busy in my life, busy without business. In Tamil there is a proverb, dog can't stand in one place but it doesn't have anything to do. It may not have anything to do, but it can't stand in one place. So we are busy, but with no business. People come and ask me, give me some technique for busy people. I am too busy, I can't do meditation. I tell them, do you eat? Yes. Do you take bath? Yes. Do you brush your teeth? Yes. Totally per day, how many hours or how much of time you spend on your body? At least 1 hour. Brushing, taking bath, washing yourself and eating. At least 1 hour. All put together 1 hour. That 1 hour decide, you will be inside your boundary. That 1 hour, when you brush your teeth, you will feel only what is happening in that area. When you are taking bath, you will feel only what is happening all over your body by the water. When the water is being showered on you, just feel what is happening. You will not think about your accounts. You will not think about shouting your subordinate. You will not think about your boss. Just be inside the boundary. When you eat, just enjoy that 1 hour every day. Just be with your body. Nothing else is required. You will be integrated. You will not have split personality. Split personality happens to you just because you don't stay inside your boundary. You don't stay inside your boundary. Here, all these techniques will work. They will be very powerful on you if you integrate yourself Because unless you integrate yourself, you will not even know in which sense you are established too much. As on now, understand, sometime you may think, people come and tell me, Swamiji, I am too much caught with my tongue, I eat like anything. But if I see their energy, they are caught with their lust. It is not tongue. Suppression of lust turns as a craving for food. They are not directly connected to their tongue. They are connected to their lust. But when they don't feel satisfied, when they are not satisfied, then they start eating. Physically, see, the great swans are like the enlightened masters who take this the bird body just to go around and see their territory. Anyhow, Ramakrishna speaks about this great swan. It is supposed to be the metaphysical bird seen only by enlightened eyes or the people who are living in the high consciousness. Of course, only if you are enlightened, you will be able to stay in the high consciousness. That is different. This bird, it will lay the egg. In 40% distance itself, it will hatch. 60% distance, it will grow wings. Before touching the ground, by 90% distance, it will just take off and fly back. It will never touch the ground. It will never touch the planet Earth. When the reflection of the swan falls on lakes or the ocean or river, when the reflection falls on the lake, all the fishes in the lake start jumping. Oh, some new fishes come, big fishes come. They all start jumping on the reflection and start playing with it. Some fishes jump this way, some fishes jump this way, some fishes jump that way. Some fishes are thinking, oh, what a beautiful fish, what wonderful fish. And they try to jump this way and that way. Some fishes start calling other fishes, hey, come quickly and come and see this fish. Beautiful fish, big fish, pretty fish, whatever you want to call. Some fishes will start even putting fence. Hey, only we can go near this fish quickly. You guys have to come? Yes. And some fishes which jumps this way will feel that that fish is hugging them. They will go and write the reminiscence. Oh, this fish is so great, it's so loving, radiating compassion, amazing love and compassion. Some fishes which will jump this way, they will feel as if that swan is kicking them out. That reflection is kicking them out. No. This fish is arrogant. This is not so loving as this fellow told me. In books I read it was very loving and compassionate, and I went there, but the reflection was shouting. It is not as compassionate as these fellows say. Some fishes will go out and write, no. It is not. It is very arrogant, condescending, and whatever they feel like. Those fishes feel like. There are some intelligent fishes which will think, no, this does not seem to be a fish. Seems to be something else. Those fishes are called devotees. Very few intelligent fishes which sees, no, it is not even something else. It is just a reflection of something, and they will look up and see the swan flying. They are disciples. Understand? There are fishes which jumps this way and feels that reflection is hugging them, loving, caring, compassionate, go out and write reminiscences. One level. There are some fishes who will jump this way and will say, no, that's fish kicked me out. It is not loving, compassionate. That's one batch. Some rare intelligent fishes only will look. No, this is not even a fish like us. Something else. The moment the doubt is created, he is not better. See, there is a beautiful sloka in Gita. Whoever thinks Guru as a better human being has abused the divine presence. Guru is not a better human being. He is completely disconnected from this very idea of human beings. So only few intelligent guys get an idea. No, he is not a better fish or a big fish or different big fish or a beautiful fish or anything. No, he is not this species which we think. The very quality, the very brand, the very idea is totally different. Those people who feel that, who are fortunate enough to have that click, only they start becoming devotees. Start living around or practicing very sincerely whatever is expressed. See, constantly we carry a subtle kind of uneasiness. We carry a subtle kind of uneasiness. For example, if you are sitting in a car and the person who is driving is a rash driver, you know he's a rash driver and his history says at least few accidents in a year. Will you be able to sleep? And especially, you know that he sleeps on wheel and you are driving late night. And I'll never sit with one or two of my disciples. I'll tell them, no, I don't want to sit with you because as on now, I want to do little mission work. You can't sleep, you can't relax. Even if you try to relax, any small break, you will just get up. You will carry a kind of unease feeling with you constantly. Same way, when you are living the life also, you carry that uneasiness. Knowledge means healing yourself, dropping that unease feeling. See, creating more and more self-healing thoughts, viveka. That's what here, the exact Sanskrit word is viveka only. It is translated as the knowledge. Viveka is not even knowledge, it's more like a discrimination. Maybe you can say, discrimination and knowledge put together is called viveka. The original word is viveka only. I don't know why in English they have translated as a knowledge, but it's the nearest word. You don't have any other word. Constantly having a viveka and bringing yourself back to the higher level, intense energy, high enthusiasm, creating a mind setup through which constantly you will be reminded that you are beyond this body and mind, reminded about the true state of your being. Seeker should walk with knowledge, stand with knowledge, sit with knowledge, eat with knowledge, speak with knowledge. He says everything should be done with discrimination, viveka and knowledge. Constantly remembering you are beyond this body. If you just pen down whatever is going on in your mind, you will see 8 out of 10 thoughts are pulling you down, creating more and more difficulties. You have created a network. You don't feel relaxed unless you create enough suffering for you. Now you can't relax unless you become tired. You don't know how to relax with intense energy. So you create tiredness before you relax. You wait for tiredness so that you can relax. You do not want to relax with energy. You do not want to be at peace with rajas. If you are peaceful with excitement, it is called bliss. Rajas plus sattva is ananda. Either you are restless or peaceful. Either you are with energy, but if you are with energy, you are not peaceful. If you are peaceful, you are not with energy. You are always dull. If you add the energy and peace, it is called sattva. How you feel hopeless by trying to fulfill your fantasies and empty, same way your fears are also not powerful. Your fears are negative fantasies, that's all. Whether it is fear or fantasy, you are trying to live with unreal things. So fear and fantasy, both are not going to be reality, and God saves you by not fulfilling your fantasies. If He tries to fulfill all your fantasies, you would have created a bigger hell for you. By now, you would have created the worst hell. Having this knowledge, this viveka, the one who sees himself in everybody, the one who sees everybody with equal vision, the one who has gone beyond his greed, the one who has pacified his senses, escapes from sinful karma. First jnana, then compassion. This is one more important thing. Uniqueness of Eastern religions, first enlightenment, then service. People who want to do first service before enlightenment mess up the whole thing. They create more and more suffering so that they can continue to serve people. They want suffering. Only then they can be serving others. Completion is complete when you can come down to the plains and remain complete. Completion is complete when you can come down to the plains and remain complete. One thing I can tell you, I never have had any incompletion with any person or situation. Throughout this whole experience of my public life, after I came down to the plains, never ever I felt life is incomplete. Never experienced any incompletion with people. Whether they experienced with me or not, you have to ask them. I am very clear. You need to know, escaping from the situations where the incomplete there can never be the solution for incompletions. That will become one more pattern of incompletion. Whenever you see a conflict, just take off. Whenever you see a conflict, the taking off becomes a pattern. Completion with others is a spiritual quality. That's all. It is necessary for enlightenment. Unfortunately, we always got the idea if you have incompletion with others, run away to the higher planes where less people are there. No, that is not a solution. That is not a solution. Completion with others is the basic necessity, the basic quality you need for enlightenment. One of the biggest cancer came to Hinduism, happened to Hinduism. We have to do surgery and remove this cancer, remove this tumor. Don't go on be foolishly believing that everything will be well by its default future. No. What has happened by default future? From Gandhar, we have been reduced to Kashmir. These foolish fellows go on arguing with me. No, Sanatana Dharma, it can never be erased. It can never be destroyed. It will be there forever. Somehow it will survive. Something will happen. No. These are all the foolish ideas spread by missionaries to keep us lazy without doing anything to revive ourselves, revitalize ourselves. No. If the default future is the truth, then what happened? We were there from Bali to Gandhar. In last 500 years, see the way we shrunk. We lost, now in Pakistan also nobody is there, and Bangladesh also nobody is there. And slowly shrinking from all direction. Sri Lanka, nobody is there. Burma, all kicked out. The only way you can revive, the only way you can cure the cancer came to Sanatana Dharma is realizing the truth, completion with others, maintaining completion with others, living in the space of completion with others is a spiritual truth that is required for a spiritual enlightenment. Because as long as your body is moving and functioning, others are part of you. You are part of them. If you are not ready to be in the space of completion with others, you can't be completion with yourself. Understand? People sometimes ask me, how do I know whether I am suppressing or completing? If you are able to be in the space of completion with others, you are completing inside you with you also. If you are not able to be in the space of completion with others, then inside you are not completing with yourself, you are only suppressing. So the scale to find whether you are completing or suppressing, completing or brooding over, completing or waiting for a chance to take revenge. I have seen many people. In the name of completion, now I am completing, but I am not going to keep quiet. I will wait for time. When my time comes, I will tell you what to do. I will do what needs to be done. Completion with others is a spiritual practice. Completion with yourself is like Mahadeva. Completion with others is like Devi. Devi is required for the life to happen. That is why in all our temples, I have put Devi along with Mahadeva. I have not put Devi as a separate deity. Understand? Completion with others is the basic truth required for enlightenment. Maybe even completion with yourself can be put in the back burner, but not the completion with others. If possible, both should be in the front burner, but the way the gas prices are going, you may not be able to do it. At least put the completion with others as the front burner.
Yes. So here, Swamiji has revealed some of the very important understandings, one of which is how, in order to elevate ourselves, raise our consciousness, we need to first address the past. And here, Swamiji was talking about the completion with our relationships and how you cannot just leave it unattended, thinking that it doesn't matter. You're just going to focus on your spirituality, which is one of the things that many of us do. We think that, okay, whatever happened in the past doesn't matter. Let's just leave it and let me focus on just raising myself how I am now. But Swamiji clearly said that the completion remains complete only when you can come to the lower planes and remain complete. So, in other words, visualize yourself right now, you're doing some spiritual practice, raising in consciousness. But if you go down and if you lower your frequency, so to speak, and will you be able to remain complete? That will happen only if you have brought to completion with your past, with all the relationships and all of that. So we should never brush any of that aside, just leave the past unattended. And once again, Swamiji also reminded ourselves of how it is the thoughts that we have inside that create our reality. And literally, if you transcribe your mind, if you see what all goes on in your mind, you will find that so many of the thoughts that you have just pull you down and they are source of suffering. And it is only when you really become aware of this. And many of us are thinking, yeah, okay, I know I have some negative thoughts and all that. But we don't really catch how these thoughts are the source of the life experiences that we face. And this is what needs to happen. We need to become aware of what's going on inside so that we stop these thoughts from manifesting in our lives. So this is what we're going to be focusing on right now in this internalization exercise. The first step, you are just going to transcribe your mind for just a few minutes. Any thoughts, any thought that comes up in your mind, just write it down as it is. Either you think about what you heard in this session, pen it down. After that, you suddenly remember something from the past, pen it down. After that, maybe you remember a phone call, someone, you have to go for shopping, whatever comes up in your mind, just transcribe it as it is. This is only the first step. Once we are done with that, we'll guide you into the next step of this process. Let's start. All right. Now, the second step. Now, categorize your thoughts as creating suffering and raising my consciousness. So you'll be clearly able to identify two categories of thoughts, some that pull you down, some that lift you up. And if you notice, most of the thoughts that you would have up and down would be pulling you down and creating more and more difficulties. So take a few moments to categorize your thoughts. And as you do that, you can also reflect on how, see, now you are doing this exercise and you are becoming aware of that, but reflect on all the implications that it has in your life. Like how, for example, when you're doing your work and you may be experiencing difficulties in your work, then think about what kind of thoughts you are having at that moment. If you have negative thoughts at that moment, naturally, your work becomes more difficult. And that applies to all dimensions of your life. All right. So you can take a few minutes and let's complete this exercise. Yes. So hopefully you would have categorized all your thoughts and reflected on how in each dimension of your life you have this layer of unconscious thoughts, and it is these thoughts that are the source of all the negativity and all the complications that you experience. So many times the problem is that we really believe in our problem. We really believe that we are facing all these hard situations put by life and all that, but we miss to understand how we are creating and sustaining all of this from our inner space. And the best example, even as Swamiji was saying in the video, when we see the life of enlightened beings, and we can see the life of Swamiji, how even in the face of all the worst attacks, assassination attempts, and all that, Swamiji was never in suffering or in impossibility or negativity. So whatever life throws at us, it is only because of the inner space that we have that we experience suffering, because of the thoughts that create suffering. So now what we need to do is complete and get to understand about it. See, completion is a technique, but it is to lead us to understand who we are or who we are not, how our identity got built, so that we can untie all the knots and finally liberate ourselves to live authentically. All right. So with this, we'll be moving on to our next session. And this time we'll be learning how our identity is confused reality. So if you remember the genesis of identity sessions that we had, how our identity is built on fundamentally powerlessness. So whoever we are right now is built on powerlessness. So until we identify the root and we bring the completion inside us, we will be continuously experiencing this confused reality. So let's come to the space of listening, as we'll be hearing once again from Swamiji in a series of clip. And after that, we'll be back to contemplate and imbibe all these powerful cognitions.
How many of you feel the whole problem in my life is I do not know what I want? God, 90% of the hall. Remaining 10% do not even know whether they want to, they know what they want or they don't know what they want. Even that they do not know. I tell you, identity crisis is always one of the biggest problem of human beings. Identity crisis, don't know what we want in the life, don't know what we are doing in the life. If you don't know what you want in the life, you are just waiting to die. Be very clear. You are not living, you are waiting to die. Waiting to die is not living. Many of you, if you look inside, you are just waiting to die. You don't have the courage to commit suicide, so you are just dragging your days, time. Please understand, that is not life. You need to get it. All the confusion in human society is based because of this 4 division. Peculiar attributes and performance of people. There are some people who always choose money as the end of life, goal of life, as a ultimate security. There are some people who choose power as the goal of life. There are some people who choose spiritual strength as goal of life. There are some people who choose confusion as the goal of life. There are different types, kinds of people who choose different things as goal of life. Based on what they feel as goal of life. How much ever you learn, sometime when there's a crisis, you tend to feel money is the security because practical. Now I need. How much ever you learn the lesson, you miss it. It is not going to be the security. Finally, you neither get the money nor have the master. When you give up, the spiritual solution, I tell you, for every problem, spiritual solution is the answer. Coming to terms with the reality. There is no shortcut. Be very clear. When reality hits you, do not take shelter under money or power or confusion.
If you are arguing with Advaita, it is difficult or easy. You are doing the same foolishness of arguing whether sunrise in the morning is difficulty for you or good for you. Whether it is difficulty for you or good for you, it is a fact. Start learning to live with it. Move your window from west to east. So, stop arguing whether Advaita is good for you or bad for you. Just move your window to the right direction and start living it. That's the most intelligent decision you will make in your life. By cherishing enmity, you will make yourself weak and make your enemy strong. By completing with enmity, you will make your enemy weak. And after that, you don't need to destroy him. And even if you destroy, you won't have sin. You may not even need, because he will die by his own powerlessness. Even if you want to destroy him, you may not need weapon. Understand, the space of Advaita is the best strategy planner, whatever situation you are in. The space of Advaita can be the best war strategy, political strategy, business strategy, economic strategy, health strategy, and the strategy for productivity, highest possible life. Understand, don't believe completing with your violence will make you weak. If you believe completing with your violence will make you weak, you are wrong. Krishna lived in the space of completion. He was always powerful. As a single man, he finished what he wants to finish. The moment you allow enmity, the first thing will happen is you will be split to pieces. You yourself will not be sure about you. The confusion is the curse from violence. Confusion is the first side effect you will experience from the violence. Do not cherish or entertain enmity even for a casual argument or playful way. Learn this as a lesson. Do not cherish enmity and violence as part of you, even in a playful way. The space of Advaita. Everything is extension of me. Whatever I want is already part of me. Is Kalpatar. Sudarshana means right vision. What is the right vision? By not carrying enmity inside you, making your enemy weak. That is what is power of Krishna. Sudarshana Chakra is right vision, is his strength. Disown enmity from your being. Disown anger from your being. All your confusion will be burnt. You will become sure about you. Whoever lives in the space of Advaita, even when you are directly facing your own death, is liberated. The moment you fall into Dvandva, your life is gone. You are gone, your life is gone. Whole thing is waste. Whether you are fighting with a disease, fighting with a pattern, fighting with poverty, fighting with disturbed relationships, fighting with terrorists, fighting with society, fighting with anything, keep Advaita, the space of Advaita, as a strategy for your life. The right wing will have a right wing if they start living the space of Advaita. Ability to face a crisis, ability to manage a crisis, ability to manage a new situation, ability to manage a change in the situation, all this is lost. All this is lost with the continuous luxurious lifestyle. Please understand, if you are rich, don't punish yourself with the luxurious lifestyle. That's the biggest punishment you will give it for yourself. Just because you are rich, don't destroy yourself. Even your muscle memory and biomemory, once they are accustomed to luxurious lifestyle, lose the ability to reinvent themselves. lose the ability to be active, alive, lose the ability to do the crisis management, lose the ability to expand. I have seen some of the most successful, big, rich men. They keep their personal life away from the wealth they have. They have not punished themselves with a luxurious lifestyle. Please understand, I have seen some of the richest people of the world in very close quarters. I tell you from my experience, people who have not punished themselves with their wealth, people who have not punished themselves with their wealth and luxurious lifestyle, only they are able to continue to keep their spontaneity, the crisis management abilities, and creativity alive. Only their muscle memory and biomemory is active to live, run the life, expand the kingdom they have built. If you want to destroy somebody, somehow make them addicted to luxurious lifestyle. After that, you don't need to do anything. They will destroy themselves. Somehow make the luxurious lifestyle glamorous for them. That's the best way you will get rid of your enemies. Any fellow who is caught in the mental setup of the luxurious lifestyle, I tell you, don't be afraid of him. He will be destroyed. He will destroy himself. Don't be afraid of him. I wanted to remind this one truth today. How your identity collapses when you get out of this aparigraha lifestyle. In Agamas, Mahadeva speaks highly about this aparigraha lifestyle. The context of aparigraha, the reason to live with minimal things, is to keep you alive, active, to keep your muscle memory and biomemory brilliant, bright. See, the luxurious lifestyle makes you insensitive. Above all, makes you life negative. It just makes you life negative. It destroys your metabolism. It destroys your ability to enjoy. Finally, it destroys your very approach towards life. I tell you, luxurious fellows are the most frustrated people on the planet Earth. Much of the problem of the developed countries is not depression, frustration is one of the biggest problem the developed countries are facing, because they have not understood with their own wealth they are torturing themselves. Having wealth is not wrong, but torturing yourself with the luxurious lifestyle is wrong. Don't punish yourself with the luxurious lifestyle. It's an old way of living. It is not cool. It's not modern. It's not fashionable. Living luxurious lifestyle like kings and queens is the old stupid way of living. Luxury kills you while you are alive. Luxury makes you insensitive and puts you in identity crisis. Luxury is the source of your strong SDHD.
continuous luxurious lifestyle creates deep self-doubt, self-hatred, self-denial in you. Not only you develop SDHD, you develop SSDHD, means strong SDHD, is SSDHD. Have wealth, I am not saying don't have wealth, but because you have wealth, you don't need to abuse yourself with luxurious lifestyle. You don't have to abuse yourself with a luxurious lifestyle. Remain as simple as possible so that you have the freedom to reinvent yourself. We will understand the genesis of our identity. What all the said and unsaid aspects of our identity. The inner image we strongly feel as we. The outer image we project to the world as we. And gap between these two. Why the gap? The gap is not always bad. Please listen. The gap is not always bad. Only when it is unconscious and makes you powerless, it is bad. If you consciously know how to play the game and it does not make you powerless, it is not bad. I am 120% sure Krishna did not feel powerless when he ran away from the war field with Jarasandha. He was powerless and ran away? No. No. Understand, Krishna did not feel powerless and run away from the war field with Jarasandha. No. If you know consciously how to play with these two, inner identity and outer identity, and it does not put you in powerlessness, gap is not wrong. Not once or twice, so many times Krishna ran away from Jarasandha. There is a temple in Gujarat called Rankichor. Means who ran away from the war. So understand, then do you mean to say he felt powerless so he ran away? No. No. He is the most juiciest incarnation. He never felt powerless. He knows how to handle the identities, where to project what. So understand, the exact inner identity, outer identity, and the gap between the inner identity and the outer identity. And what you want others to experience, feel about you, and what you feel about others. There is always a big gap between these two. You want everyone to feel about you as a loving, caring, trusting, blissful, joyful person. But you believe, you think about everybody as crooked, cunning, cheats, bunch of thieves,
Now you need to know the gap between your inner identity and outer identity. That gap is neither good nor bad. Same way, the gap between what you want others to feel about you and what you feel about others. This gap also is neither good nor bad. If both these gaps makes you powerless, both of them are bad. If they does not make you powerless and you know how to play with that, then it is not bad. Sometimes it is good. Some of the very powerful, the most powerful strategies which Krishna did to protect dharma are done from that space where other person can't even understand with what kind of a logic you are functioning. Other person can't even understand, you can never understand with what kind of a dharma Krishna is functioning. You can never understand. But he is the most dharmic being. Because the gap between inner identity, outer identity has not put him in powerless space. SDHT, self-doubt, hatred, denial. Ability to renounce the identity. I tell you, it is that training which protected or still protects, saves me during this whole identity crisis. See, the attack on me was not defamation. It was literally creating identity crisis. Please understand. Defamation is different. Trying to create identity crisis is different. Attack on me from 2010 is not just defamation. Trying to create identity crisis. Trying to completely confuse people about who am I, who I am. And they tried their best even to confuse me. See, if constantly 3 years somebody tells you you are a cheat, you are cheat, you are cheat, you may start thinking, am I really cheating? Ability to drop your identity in front of anyone is the quality of sadhu, and I wanted this to be a guru walk to all my ashramites. What is there? You think all the abuse I am going through, I am worthy of it? It is excess being done on me. But that is the way life is. That is the way humanity is. That is because you did not become enlightened few thousand years before and serve the humanity. I am struggling all alone. See, lakhs of people died in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. All the people who are dead, are they worthy of the death? The ability to drop the identity is Jivan Mukti. I tell you one more secret. As long as you have certain identity, you will always feel society is adharmic towards you. It is a basic secret. Your logic is with pus. It sees only from your side, never from the other side.
If I judge whatever is done to me by the society is adharmic, my logic becomes logic with pus. Fortunately, I never judged. Society is not a group of people. Please understand. Society is the other person. It is not collective. Even ability to let go the identity makes you the hero whose identity can never be destroyed. I want those heroes around me. They are Jivan Muktas. I tell you, your identity costs you only your life, nothing else. If I am supporting your ego and identity, you are doomed. If I am not touching your ego and identity, you are in waiting list. If I am hitting at it straight, you are blessed.
Please understand, when people ask, why should we have the space of Advaita in everyday living, the whole question seems to be stupid. The space of Advaita gives you the best strategy from which you can operate. You want to continue to live in lies, spread lies. Please understand, living in lies, spreading lies, the biggest problem is you get confused about what do you want. Getting confused about what you want is a failure. Getting confused about who you are is depression. Please understand. Getting confused about what you want is only failure, but getting confused about who you are is depression. Even if you allow the failure, don't allow depression. Even the word depression is too small. Getting confused about who you are and not being sure about who you are. The identity crisis. The identity crisis. Please understand, the identity crisis integrity itself is a principle which solves the identity crisis for you. See, integrity actually solves identity crisis for you.
Yes. So here again, another series of important revelations from Swamiji, how the identity crisis that we have is the source of our inability to face the situations of life outside. And through various examples, either from his own life or from the life of Sri Krishna, Swamiji showed how someone who has a powerful identity and complete completion inside can handle even the most difficult situations of life with complete ease and powerfulness. So let's spend a few minutes now to reflect on these truths. And the first step that you are going to be doing, you're going to identify and write down the top 10 limiting reality statements you make about yourself related to any aspect of your life, such as wealth, health, relationships, and so on. It could be that I'm always unlucky, I am not good looking. Then you're going to be doing the same about the people close to you. For example, they don't listen to me, they don't understand, and then describe how you respond and complete when you face these realities. So we'll be projecting the assignment in just a few moments. Reflect and see how, because of the confused identity or powerless identity that you have inside, you make these kinds of limiting reality statements about your capacities, about who you are, your potential, what you can do, what you cannot do, and finally give birth to these kinds of situations in your life. All right, so take a few minutes and reflect on that and see how you respond in these situations. Let's start. Yes. So I hope that you are able to see how it is the confused reality, the powerless identity, inner image that you have that leads you, that prompts you to making these limiting reality statements, and how once you have uttered, when you have made these limiting reality statements, finally this is what you experience. But um, finally you should be able to trace back the situation in which you are. For example, you think that you're not able to make money or whatever, then you would have made a limiting reality statement at some point, and that is generated from this confused or powerless inner image. All right, and with this we conclude today's Paramashivoham, today's day of Paramashivoham, and we have discovered the science of, in reality, how what we see with our eyes is not the reality. The reality, the ultimate reality as it is always, it always brings us powerfulness, liberation, enlightenment. So whenever you are not experiencing any of these, something that is negative, that makes you powerless, or that puts you in suffering, be very clear that it is not the reality. You are facing delusion, and if you are able to unclutch from it and connect back with the reality, you will be free. All right. And tomorrow, the theme will be completion, reclaiming our life through completion, directly connected to this last session that we had. And we will be identifying our root pattern, the source of all the incompletions that we have in our life, the source of all the low inner images and all the complications that we face in our lives, bringing completion with this root pattern so that we can once and for all live with complete authenticity and powerfulness. So make sure to be there once again tomorrow, and we look forward to seeing you again. Make sure to be there, of course, for the first session of the day, Nityananda Yoga, and don't miss tomorrow's darshan, of course, and we will be having our sessions throughout the day as usual. Now, let us conclude with the Purna Mantra, joining our hands in the Namaskara Mudra and expressing our gratitude to Swamiji for everything that we have learned and received today. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Bhagavatse Nityananda Paramashiva Paduka Pranastu. Om Nityanandam. Thank you, Nityanandam.
Ananda Paramashivoham Om Nityananda Paramashivoham Om Nityananda